we're going to turn this pile of lumber, this pile of tools, these two 3600 watt inverters
into this portable solar shed.
Okay, so to quickly cover what we're going to do. Our goal is going to be to link them up together to have 7,200 watts. Now, I'll run down the total cost of this whole video. So for us, on the solar package, I spent about $4,000. If you're going to get the same setup, you may not have to spend that much. So my goal when I'm all said and done with this shed is to take this stuff home, link them together, because again, they're 110 volts each. They do 220, 240 when you link them, and I'm gonna add the expandable batteries on top to power my house. So I got, for $4,000, these two inverters, which are about $1,100 each. I got their entire 1,600 watt solar array that we'll put somewhere out here if we ever get sun in the winter. So we're gonna build a 4x8 shed just to use and maximize one piece of plywood. We're gonna put it on 4x6 pressure treated skids, and then we're gonna put the floor joists on top of those so we can take our Bobcat with the forks, pick the shed up, and move it around. So we have an 8-acre piece of property up on Mount Hood, up in Oregon, and we're gonna build 3 houses on this property. We're gonna build one right here where we're standing, so that's where we'll start the shed. We're gonna build a second one over in the distance, and we're gonna build a third one. The first one we build and sell, the second one our plan is to build and sell, and the third one we're gonna build and keep. We're gonna Airbnb it, have a little personal getaway about an hour from the house, up in the mountains. That's the goal at least. The shed also was gonna be a really big benefit while we're working up here, because today it's about 30 degrees. Last week was about 28, it was snowing, it was a disaster. It'll be nice to have a quick warming shelter. I'll put a small propane heater in it and then get back to work. It's also nice when it's pouring down rain. You can have your extra set of rain gear in there drying off when you go to switch. If you've ever had to use rain gear and dry off and change gear in your truck, you'll know how big of a pain in the ass it is. So this will be 10,000 times easier. All right, let's get started. Got a few things going on today. We also got the well guys drilling over in the back. We are about 465 feet deep on that. The original quote was for 280 feet. So sure it'd be nice if we could hit some water today. We're only at a trickle at about 4 gallons per minute, 5 maybe, and we're trying to do a community well. So I'm gonna build this, keep myself occupied. Okay, we got our gravel rolled out. I just wanted somewhat of a flat surface, nothing too crazy, because it's not gonna be hard and awesome forever. It's gonna get wet and crappy. Let's cover something else really quick too. A big goal for this project is to make sure that we can have the compressors for the framers be going long enough during the day to last the whole time, and the solar can at least trickle charge it. It's only about 8:30 in the morning right now. We got about 0 sun. Unfortunately, we have this big hill over here, and the sun is rising in that direction. So maybe in the afternoon, if we put it down the hill there, we can get a couple hours of sunlight, but we'll see. The benefit is that the compressors don't have to stay on constantly. So here's to hoping this lasts long enough, I guess, for us. So let's take this, turn it into AC mode. Okay, we just plugged it in. Nothing powered on. In idle mode, it can last 68 hours and 13 minutes, it says. Let's turn this on and see what happens. So it looks like we are gonna do about 1,000 watts. It'll last, at the peak, it'll go about 3 hours and 2 minutes. 254. So probably with plus or minus, it'll go 2 hours and 45 minutes on one of these. But we have 2 of them. So if the compressor was on for an entire day, plus some battery charge and other stuff, I would think that we're gonna be good to go. But we'll see. Me building this shed is going to be a really good test. Okay, so the compressor just finished. It's full on air. If you've ever framed even just a little bit, the pancake ones actually get a halfway decent amount of nails you can shoot out before it has to charge. Now, when it was going and actively running, between 2 hours and 45 minutes and 3 hours. So If we have it plugged into the solar and we can get light trickle charging, and that can get us an extra couple hours a day, I think we can keep up. The framing probably won't happen up here for about another month or so, because we still got to get the final permit. We're almost done with that. And then we do need to pour the foundation. Every single day we gain a few more minutes of daylight, and every single day that sun gets a little bit lower over there. So you can see right now it's about 8:15 a.m. and you can see way up on the hill, probably 400 or 500 feet above us. That's the west, so the sun's behind us. And it's creeping down that hill there. It'll come up over this hill here in a couple hours. And the problem is this hill's so high here, we're not gonna get a ton of solar until maybe end of January into February. So we'll have to see how well it does. I really wish I would have brought the sawhorses today. We'll just make all the cuts on the back of the truck though, no problem. I also really wish I would have personally picked this lumber instead of gathering it on an online quote and having them pick it. But it's basically a ski ramp to the side. So that'll be a fun little base to work on. It's a lot better. It's in down there, but we're out a little bit here, so I popped the nail about halfway. Bring this thing back flush. All right, after quite a bit of wrestling and a little bit of CTE, first wall's in. Should have been easier. 38 inches, so we'll find the middle, I think, is the best plan. What all of our math teachers said we wouldn't have as kids is our calculator in our pocket. So we have basically just enough to put 1.5 inch. Perfect. Okay, so I definitely messed this up with this being 36. The side wall should have came on first because that wall should have sat that way, since we're not gonna have enough room to do the king and the jack stud. So I think we're gonna off-center the door to the back a little bit. 1 8-footer there, put our 82 inch there. And over here, we'll have to triple stud it up because we'll put our 82 right here. So we're all right. We just gotta shift it a little bit. No big deal. We need to go 82 up minus our bottom plate. So that would be 80 and a half, 80 and a half. It's gonna be a little tricky because I don't have a good flat spot to build it like the last couple. I've already made a mistake. I even mentioned I was gonna do it. This doorway wall needs to be at 7 feet, not 8 for the slope. So maybe I'll just snap a chalk line. Actually, okay, I'll just snap a chalk line and then sawzall that out of there. Dang it. Okay, let's do a quick little update on where the sun is to see how well our solar is gonna work. So it is 10:45 and it's way up there behind the trees. You can see it there. That whole hill from earlier this morning is now covered in sun. We got a little ways to go till we hit some sun where we can put the panels. It looks like over here maybe it's peeking through a little bit, so perhaps out there in the field area by the stumps, we'll go ahead and put our solar array. So we'll check back in a couple hours. Really quick solar update. It is 1:15, middle of January. This is the build site, so there'll be foundation here, but over there, we could definitely put the solar array and it would get some serious sun starting at 1. Okay, we got a 8-foot board, so we're gonna do, we know it's 4 foot to 4 foot on the insides, outer wall to outer wall. I want to do an 18-inch overhang on each side, so we got to take our speed square, come to our tail. Actually, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go up to 3 because we're doing a 3/12 pitch. Go. Mark my line. Then I am going to go down this way with the diamond until we get it lined up into that little diamond. Make our line. That's our first cut. We're gonna not cut this line. Then we're gonna go to the front and we're gonna measure out that we know from the back of this line to the front of this line is 48. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Go to 3 on the common, this way, on the diamond, until it lines up right there. Then we know we're not gonna cut that. We're gonna kill that. Then from the front of that, we wanna go 18 off for our overhang and give it another 3. All right, let's cut this, see if we did it correctly. Okay, let's go test fit it. The seat cut there, and that one fits pretty good enough. So let's go transfer it to the 2x6. All right, starting day 2 on this shed build. Make a few cuts here and get some boards back onto the roof. Spent half the morning today looking for my chalk line and a couple other tools. Ends up I put them all away in the truck like I'm supposed to. Got it. It's looking pretty good. Actually, it looks really good. All right, I got a quick little, it's a smart lock, but I just wanted it for the keypad. It was on Amazon, it was cheap. I smartly grabbed batteries this morning at the house. Rule number 1 on these is to never read the instructions. Oh, I see, this thing's just extra fancy. Of course, it's not nice and rounded like these doors, but we're just gonna jam it in there. This is the way. There we go, doors on. All right, looks like we're good to go. Just don't shut it and lock myself in. I'm sure I put the door on a little off, so ever so slightly closes in. There is a way to fix that. We pop the hinge out, just tap it and bend it a little bit. The hinge is back in and voila. Stays, and you can't notice the difference when you open it or close it. Just helps a little bit. Slight bend though, slight bend. Let's put these keys in the truck for good measure. Put this window in, get some ice and water shield up on the roof. I think it's melted enough and we will be dried in enough to hang out. Sweet. Gonna be okay. Shit, upside down. Good thing we put it the right way, like all the water coming out of that whirlpool. Need to put the ice and rain shield, which is self-adhering, onto the roof, but we're not getting any sun in the area that we're at, So I went ahead and turned the heater on that I bought to warm the shed up, and I'll close the door for a little bit and put the blocking up in the top, and hopefully the heat helps dry the roof off so I can stick the shield on there, and then this thing will be totally dried in. Over there cutting the roofing material, I cut through the air hose underneath it, being super careless. So we can put the roofing stuff on today, but it looks like we're done with the nail guns until I can bring up another air hose. Idiot. we are all done with the portable solar shed here. It's actually way too cold today to paint, so I turned the heater on inside to low. And the walls are actually warming. So it's gonna dry quick. There's our heater. I mean, you can see it's drying the floor out even really good. I'd like to dry this floor out by the end of the day, get rid of the dirt, paint the floor just to help it not rot out. I mean, we did use pressure treated, but we got everything foamed, everything good to go. So the build is done. We just gotta add our batteries right there, and our solar comes next week, and we'll put that in, and we're gonna add a couple outlets around, and we'll put an outlet on the outside, and we'll be good to go. I did test that battery thing. I framed this thing in 2.5 days. I charged 5 or 6 60-volt DeWalt batteries, and then a handful of the 5-amp batteries, like the 20-volt 5-amp batteries. I left it in the truck overnight on one time too, not charging anything, just left it on, and it was at 23% power. And so I have 2 units and an extra battery, plus the solar is going to be charging it a little bit, so that should be totally sufficient. I also don't have the most efficient air compressor ever, and my air hose leaks slightly. So all in all, I think we're going to be really good to go. As you can see, the sun is actually pretty decent. It is 1:30, and it could not be sunnier in the middle of January right now. So maybe this is the build site right here. Maybe if over there, in that little brush area, we set up the solar array, maybe I can put it up on a pole or something. And that would definitely get us good enough sun to be just fine to charge enough. I think we'll last forever with how much usage we have. And I mean, every day the sun's coming up a little bit more over those trees. The big problem is we have that cliff over there on the hillside on the other side of the highway. Otherwise we'd get sun like crazy. It peaks over these trees for a minute, and then away it goes over that hill. So it's really strong at about 2:30. But this is the highest I've seen the sun yet, so it's definitely a positive.